Okay, Google, turn my Christmas lights on. Ay, 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 ay. Kind of stinks in here. Yeah, like trash. We don't make the fridge trash anymore. So, yeah, there's a stink. I think they ran out of Lysol. Nobody closed them. No, you can leave it open. James will be home in about an hour, I think. What time is it? 7:30? Yeah.
If you ever make it out to my place, I'll apologize beforehand for the smell of animals. Even though we keep it clean.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How many dogs and cats do you have?
Well, we've had so many through the years. Right now we have two dogs, two cats. And, you know, unless I get up and scrub the ceilings after so many years, it won't be there.
Yeah. I've got a rug doctor if you decide to,
Oh, we got some synthetic wood floors, but
uh,
they don't piss and shit. There's just like cat box dust and stuff accumulated, mostly in the basement. But
over the years.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If we paint the house and stuff, then it'd be like, all right. But we don't smell it, but, you know.
Yeah, I actually, it was fucking cool. So we're gonna go back like 20 fucking years, 23 years. So before I married Karen, I went and saw her in Maine. And so on my ride up to Maine, you know, I took a Greyhound bus. You know, and you walk on, it's like fucking BO. It's like, oh shit, everybody fucking stinks.
I still haven't rode on a bus yet.
Yeah, BO. BO and just stink.
I'm
And
check
then,
myself.
you know, and
I
actually,
think I'm all right.
you know, it was like 36 hours up to Moonucket. I had my notebook with me, so I wrote a fucking essay on it. You know? And the theory is that over time, your brain gets used to the smell, and then your smell is now neutral.
Yes. And that's a fact because the brain learns to map around it because it's like, all right, this ain't going anywhere. Let's get you alert to other things.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, and see, and then I wrote, you know, that's fucking scary because you could have all that fucking stink and you walk into a store and somebody goes and throws up, you know, go, blah, barf their Kentucky Fried Chicken all over the floor. It's like, what? It's like, you fucking stink, dude. It's like, what are you talking about? I put cologne on.
It's like if you had bad breath, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Same shit.
exactly. Yeah, it's like, it's amazing how the mind, like, maps around that shit.
Essential. And on that note, I wonder if extraterrestrials ever came here, they took off their helmet, would it be like, oh, this place fucking stinks, but we wouldn't know. Probably not. Delusion, you know.
If they were smart aliens,
Yeah.
they wouldn't take their helmets off at all.
Of course not. Which totally shoots the War of the World movies out of the fucking water again.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if you're smart, you know, it's like, I can't breathe this shit. You know, it's like,
The writer that was limited in this capacity. These guys fucking came all the way across the galaxy, the universe, and they came to this one planet, and they decided, well, let's take our chances. It's as bad as a fucking 1950 science fiction film. It's not made of cheese here, but we can breathe. The moon.
so the humans will celebrate it as the victory, but in reality, they didn't do a goddamn fucking thing.
What, when they got to the moon?
No, I mean, I'm talking about War of the Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we beat them. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we didn't. We got our asses.
Once they got sick and weak, and for some reason their fucking electrical systems failed them too. So
Are you talking about the book or which one?
The movie. I don't do a lot of
With
reading.
Tom Clancy?
Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, Tom Clancy. I was thinking of
Yeah,
more books.
he gave him way too much credit there. Tom Cruise gave Cruise way too much credit.
He's always running.
Yeah. Guy's been running ever since he was in his tidy whities in the 80s, fucking sliding around on the floor.
Maverick, Top Gun 2 is pretty good though.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
My only problem with it was the fact that China demanded that the Taiwan patch got removed from the shoulder, and Hollywood did it. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
You know why?
Specifically?
Yeah.
Because it shows that America will defend Taiwan in the event they take it over. That we support
That's the political view.
So what's the deeper view? Oh, the
Money.
Silicon Valley aspect, right?
Money. United States box office, number one. Number two box office, China.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where
We're on
they
the same
make.
page.
That's why shit movies in the United States do
Yeah.
well in China and then get sequels.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So it's,
Same as Japan with all
yeah,
the
you know, people. I don't really see like the political shit. I just look at the money, like because we're capitalists and everybody wants money.
Oh yeah.
To
And I
buy
see it
chicks
too.
and then influence politics in the United States. But man,
Oh, yeah.
if they're just looking for money,
Yeah.
they'll do whatever the fuck China wants.
Here's one for you. Walmart. Are they just looking for money? I think so. They could shit can their 300 million customer base in this country. China, 2.2 billion customers. Fuck you, America. Thanks for the start.
Oh, China will never let a Western owned company into China. They'll never. It's like fuck you
Not
because
unless it's theirs with that name on it.
they would have. It would have to be state owned. That's China. Everything is state owned.
What if China actually owns us? Then would they take Walmart there and fuck us over here with it?
I mean, if they were to conquer us, you mean?
A lot of people think that they are so weaved through this country and they own so much infrastructure like railroad tracks, meat processing plants, and all kinds of shit in the land that they own a great portion.
So keep that thought.
Mhm.
Let's transport back to the 1980s.
Okay.
Everything was made in Japan. Japan bought the Empire State Building. Japan bought farmland. Japan bought real estate. Everybody was going, fucking Japan's gonna take us over. No.
They might have tried with money, yes.
Well, they were just building their resources, making money.
I remember all the anti-Japanese
Yeah,
rhetoric.
but I mean, then you take that concept and put it onto China today. So that's what they're doing.
It's a big difference, though. We were Japan's military.
Right, but here's the thing that I don't trust about China. I don't know if you knew about that lab they discovered
Wuhan?
in California.
Something like Wuhan?
No. So there was a lab discovered in California, owned by fucking Chinese, and he had like samples of HIV, the COVID virus, a bunch of other fucking viruses.
I may have heard of this one instance, and like many others, I was like, yeah, not surprised, and I kept moving through.
Yeah, and then there's also the fact that China has infiltrated our infrastructure, our electrical grid.
Yes, and they make the superconductors now, and the transformers and shit.
Those superconductors.
They make the transformers, right? They have the licenses to make our power grid transformers.
I haven't heard that. There's a bill that forbids China from, basically the government bans all use of Chinese manufactured electronics. And is one of the reasons why I fucking dumped all of my Chinese smart devices. Tried to. I have Casa, which is like a Korean company. But I can't remember if it's made in China or not. But, you know, the fucking Chinese, man, they do like shadow factories. So, I don't know, have you heard of those?
Is it like reverse engineering?
No, so let's say like, oh, we're going to build iPhones on this line.
Okay.
They set up a shadow factory and make the iPhone with cheap ass fucking shit. And call it the iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when an elixir salesman comes to your door, and you watch him drink this shit. He's about to sell it to you, and then you get something out of the case, and it's fucking water. So basically, they're advertising with a nice fine front of high quality production, and then the shadow factory puts out the B-rate shit. Is that what you're telling me?
Basically, the B-rate shit, and then they sell it and make money. It's all about the money.
Very much so. Even Japan.
Everything is about fucking money. I mean, when you look at just money, all the political bullshit and power grabs, make sense. When you just like filter, put money and greed as a filter in your
Top tier. That is the number one thing because it buys everything else.
everything.
Yes.
You know, and so it's like when I see political bullshit. Oh yeah, Trump's like, all the shit's like, close it in on him.
Oh, on the trial?
Oh no, I mean there's like one of his witnesses flipped.
Oh, like 15 of them are flipping this.
Yeah, I mean like
which I can't believe. I can barely believe it. But after a couple years and maybe some guns to their heads in the night type shit, I don't think they flipped, but I think they're either scared or something else is happening.
I think they're scared of prison and getting anal raped for 20 years.
They could be politically persecuted. I don't know.
I mean, they would become. I mean, they risk either going with Trump and going like risking jail and anal rape.
Oh, of course, because the powers that be will have somebody inside do that for them.
Or flipping and working with the prosecution and then telling the truth as they know it.
Which would clear them. Oh, I see. We were told this.
So when they tell you something, they tell you the truth as they know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's up to the prosecution to believe it. You know, are they credible? You know, did we find a shit ton of child porn on them? You know, other factors. You know, it's like, okay, this guy's telling the truth. You know, and he's looking for like a plea deal. But here's the thing about that shit. When it all comes down, the prosecution can't be too lenient. You know, they'll cut deals. You know, everybody's going to cut fucking deals, and Trump's going to go, something's going to happen, but either way, they're all cut deals. And
for the crowds at home to see, they'll want some little amount of blood, yes.
Right, so they'll want some blood for the Democrats, but then they have to appease the Republicans too. So, you know, the time they serve will be probably...
You're on the right lines here. You're seeing that this is a uni-party mess with.
Yeah, there could
corruption on all sides.
Yeah, exactly. I've always known that.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll get a sentence, and that sentence will depend on how much guilty or how much they played into the conspiracy.
If it's a conspiracy.
Well, they did. I mean,
sure.
Trump's insurrection.
If you call it that.
It is.
But remember, I was watching everything they wouldn't show on TV when it went down. And I don't say this like, I'm right, you're wrong. I say this like, hey, brother, come up here on the fence. Look at this.
I mean, so based on what I have seen, and I've watched hours, and I've looked at both sides of the video. I've seen it. I mean, I've watched.
I've seen too many videos.
Yeah, exactly. So
most of the ones. Sorry to interrupt, but most of the ones that were missing links to the entirety of what happened vanished within the first 24 to 48 hours. Where is it? It's fucking gone. Here's one. Here's something interesting. When Trump said, everybody make your way down there peacefully and patriotically, I saw him say it. I saw everything said.
Sure he did.
Now, I saw it before the riots. I watched some of his speech, but I also tuned it out.
I watched that too.
So when he said that, they told him that they came out for ages and said that he never said that. Before we make our way, let's make our way down peacefully and patriotically. And then all over television they said it was never said, he never said that, never did this. And then later on they said, okay, he did say it.
I mean, yeah, but if you look at the... I mean, if you look beyond the words of let's go down peacefully, I mean...
Make our way down there peacefully and patriotically.
Right. And then if you look beyond the words,
sure,
what the meaning is that I interpret from that is he knew that everybody in that crowd was fucking riled up.
I don't think they were, though.
They were.
Well,
you got
there was
all those
tear
fucking,
gas and shit.
you know, Hail Hydra. Have you ever seen any of the Marvel films?
Oh, those fuckers with the capes and shit on?
Oh yeah, you don't watch any of the modern stuff, do you?
No.
None of the Marvel stuff?
Nah, I touch on stuff, but
What?
I've been
So
out
in the
TV.
first Captain America Marvel movie,
Mhm.
you have Heil Hitler. So then there was Hydra, Sub.
Oh, you seen some Nazi types in the crowd?
They were all there. The racists, the white supremacists,
There were a lot of plants, too, though.
No, the true patriotics. I don't know about the plants. You're probably right about the plants.
There's always plants.
You know, the CIA would probably plug some people in.
They did? So they
And
said.
then the FBI.
That guy that was saying, we need to go into the Capitol. Remember that guy? What was his name? That big CIA dude?
Yeah,
He was out there telling people, fuck that, we need to go in.
they knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
we could do this all day, I guarantee it.
Exactly. Basically, you have your argument.
Yeah.
And I have my argument. And what happens is that
the key factors are missing on
basically
both of our
what
sides.
it is we have 1 minus 1. Your opinion is 1. My opinion is 1.
And there's a
when
divide.
When we divide it or when we subtract it, we get 0.
We're still missing stuff.
Basically there is a bias that we have to overcome.
I'm already there, if you can believe that. But the fact that I'm still saying I'll vote for Trump over someone else, I know it's a major red flag.
I wouldn't say that we could ever overcome our bias. Because our bias changes every day. Based on what we see, what we hear.
Which means we're controlled by algorithms.
Any new information we glean from whatever it is we're watching. Yeah, so it's like every day. So like, you see some new news and then you formulate a new idea. It's like, okay, so here's all this shit I used to think, and now when I plug this piece in, my whole idea changes to this new one.
Oh, yes.
Because then you formulate new pieces, and that's what it's like for me.
And me. Every time we expand like that,
every time we add
in our belief system.
We add more pieces.
Yes.
And more considerations.
The weight of our belief system becomes hyper expanded. Yeah. And it becomes complex too because of all these little trail markers. Some of them we might have even forgot. And then if something major pulls a pin down at the bottom like a Jenga stack, it's like crashing through the threshold. And moreover, it'll piss you off because all of a sudden you've been set back by other people's bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's why I've dropped it all. And I truly ride the fence now. I can't condemn anybody on any side. And get this, I used to hate characters in Washington. Crucify her, lock her up. I never chanted shit like that. And I was like, yeah, fuck her, Things like this. And over time, I realized I don't want anything to happen to these people. I started thinking more like Jesus, and I don't get into that too much. Jesus will tell you, maybe Jesus never existed. We'll never know.
Oh, yeah. Would you be offended if I told you a story?
Probably
about
not.
Jesus Christ? Are you Christian or?
I'm not baptized. But I believe in moral constructs.
Okay, so do you actually believe in God and hell?
I believe in good and evil. I believe there could be a God. I guess I'm an agnostic.
Do you consider yourself an atheist?
I consider myself realistic.
Basically, an atheist, in my definition, is that you accept the world as you see. You accept that science and biology and math and whatever the fuck it is happened because of a spontaneous, perhaps lightning strike that caused 2 fucking molecules to combine to create protein. which then over billions of fucking years, and evolution and discovery and the sacrifice of all the humans that came before us led us to the point that we are now having this discussion.
I can
All
buy
of it. And then, so when you think about, religion, you have to think about, you go back in time as a, I'm not going to call them cavemen, but early humans. We just come out of Africa, we've fucked Neanderthals, and we fucked Denisovians, and so I'm thinking that the Denisovians, they were like a breed that existed with Homo sapiens. You had the Neanderthals and the Denisovans that were dominant in Europe and shit. So,
Harold loves this topic. Lloyd Pyle comes to mind.
Yeah, so I think all the Homo sapiens fucked the Denisovans in Asia and made the Chinese and all the Asians and shit. And they fucked the Neanderthals and made all the Europeans.
And thousands of years later, with continental separation after Pangea, nature, resource, food sources, everything made us look different over time, or were we already different? I know we were already different, but did we become who we were based on our geography and our isolation?
So it was basically what we became was based on survival instinct. Perhaps we started to walk on two legs because the food that we like to eat the fuck out of, we had to stand on our legs to grab them, right? So then the ones that couldn't reach died because they fucking starved to death. But the ones that could reach grabbed whatever it is and ate it, and over time those genes passed on. And so through internal knowledge, genetic knowledge, they could all stand up, and eventually we started fucking walking upright.
I'd buy into that. We got another 20,000 years, they say, until our spine is ready to fucking continue walking upright. But
yeah, I mean,
I'd also go with the tall factor for intimidation. Remember 2001?
Yeah, I mean, but going on with the the morals, morality.
Yes.
So,
what is good? What is evil?
Well, I mean, just 10 Commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill.
Steal.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness.
I believe so.
Honor thy mother and father.
Not covet the wife, is that one of them?
Thou shalt not covet.
Covet the wife like trophy, right?
Well, I think in the full Bible text is covet the wife, the ass, his donkey, whatever his possessions are. And I think, and then there's take the Sabbath day and hold it holy and worship no other gods before me. Strip away the religion bullshit and look at the core tenets, right?
Money.
No, not money yet. Not money yet. So you go back in time and you think about a family unit that just formed a tribe. It's like, okay, we got 2 family units, then we have 3 family units. Now we're a tribe. And you've got this dude over here that can farm. This dude over here that can make weapons. This person hunts. This person forages.
They all need a common ground now because...
Right. I mean, so when you think about it, when you have key people, if some guy in the village decides to go murder the farmer, they're all fucked for food when winter comes. It's like, thou shalt not murder. If you blame some farmer or hunter for some bullshit and they get ejected, well, now your hunter's gone and now you get to starve in a fucking winter.
People are afraid what they can't see. You can't see something
Yeah,
in the dark, you can't see it. So if they had to come up with something to make people be like, if you kill that man, God is going to burn you eternally.
Well, I'm talking about even before God. This is like way before God and shit. We hadn't learned how to fucking count.
So where does the
Or
moral
even,
come
no,
from?
this is what I'm describing. So
Yeah.
this is before we knew how to count.
Mhm.
Before we knew how to write. So most of the shit we probably spoke about, I don't know if they spoke about gods because it was all hearsay at that point.
Mhm.
So I'm sure they talked about the sunrise and the sunset and solar eclipses and other things. And, the elders are talking about the good years and the really bad years when things didn't grow or the animals weren't around, just stuff.
Yeah.
And so...
And then they find reasons.
Right, and so, and I think that is where morality originated, is from the multi-familial unit with each person critical in the survival of the entire tribe. So
morality is based on appreciation for someone else's storytelling or suffering. It's like, you didn't have
well,
food
no,
back.
it's about survival, because at this point it's just about survival, If you kill your farmer, you have no food. You kill your hunter, you have no food. You kill your foragers, you have no food. You kill your shaman, you have no religion.
If you come up with machines that can do all their jobs, you just kill them all. That's what people think's happening
But
right now.
yeah, I mean, when you look at it, when I look at stuff, I throw away everything. Like everything I could, every bias, knowledge. Like, did I ever tell you about my story on mushrooms on pizza?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, I'm going to tell you that story. Do you like mushrooms on pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, not mushroom pizza, because that fucking sucks, but like mushrooms plus like
Pepperoni, maybe
yeah.
tomato or green pepper mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, I get down with them.
All right, so like mushrooms,
Fungus.
Yeah. So throw away everything you know,
Mm.
and then go back in time with whatever favorite movie, time travel mechanic you like, and then go back to early humans, right? So you're in a family, you're a forager, and you see this thing growing up out of the ground. It's got a stem, except they didn't know it was called a stem, and a cap, which they didn't know it was called a cap. And it looks like, okay, pick this. I've never seen this before. I'm going to take a bite. I'm going to eat it. So they eat it. And you can think of, all right, so what is the possible outcomes of eating that mushroom? They die. They squat in the grass all night long.
Because they're constipated.
Or they fucking trip out and transcend to the next level. And then the final one is like, okay, it tastes like shit, but it gives me energy to continue on. And it's like, I'll remember that mushroom is good to eat. And then of course you got your friend over here that eats like a multicolored mushroom and fucking croaks. They're foaming at the mouth and shit.
Which is the equivalent of,
and they're dying.
Of drug addicts on the street getting fentanyl and fucking Flocka nowadays.
Yeah.
Just like, you didn't hear?
He's just fucking dead. Blah.
Nobody's going to tell you, buddy.
And then some other friend is tripping out and talking about whatever the fuck it is, and they remember it. And then you figure out, and you just project that through how many 100,000 of years, to the point that mushrooms on pizza, we figured out based on wisdom, knowledge, insight, and sacrifice of our ancestors.
And it's all maintained through a thing called liability.
That brought us to the point where we know what mushrooms are fucking good on cheese pizza.
I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, then you take that thought line, right, and you apply it to whatever it is.
Yeah.
You apply that thought line, and you just put yourself back in time, and then project that knowledge forward, and then go. It opens up new lines of thought. You know, like in politics.
I also connected to
Science.
the way I feel about everything in the world, basically on the same line you're talking about. Everything I feel in the world, right? This motherfucker just ran that person over. Why'd they do that? They were racing to a hospital to get somebody to the hospital. Oh, fuck, I can't blame them now. So now I'll blame the person in the car that wouldn't stop fucking drinking Mountain Dew all day long until they stroked out. And then I'll blame Mountain Dew. And then I'll blame the aluminum companies for making it so accessible, you know, 24 packs. And then I'll start blaming money. Here we are back at money fucking made it happen. But if we trace shit all the way back to the first sorry son of a bitch who took a shit in his hand and fucking ate it because he was hungry, I can't blame him. I can't blame any of these people. The people I hate or I don't like anymore, I don't want them dead. I want them off of the steering wheel. Because
You
we're all
ever,
like this.
Have you watched Men in Black?
Oh yeah, the first one, I love it. I
First
still
one?
quote it.
Right. So there's a quote in there where is it K? Agent K? Yeah, Agent K. That's what's his face?
Acne face man. Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. So he says, "People are smart. Public are stupid," or something around that.
I've been eating that line for a long time now. The masses are stupid when they get together. And that is also why I left the mass over here, and I see Trump, and I don't fully trust him. But I also see a man being politically persecuted since day one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how I see people.
Mhm.
You know, I guess you would have to say I'm firmly on the Democratic side, because like in South Park, it's like turd sandwich or douche. That's what you have to choose from. Or in other words,
Do you have to choose?
the lesser evil.
That's what I'm on to. But at the end of the day, I'm also thinking, we don't have time.
I mean, yeah.
Will Satan save this country? Put him in. No, I'm kidding. But it's bad. But, yeah, both sides of the aisle, I'm with everybody. Because my family, my friends are on both sides, and I won't choose a side. But I will say question mark everywhere, even Trump. And here's the thing, back to that one comment, the peacefully patriotic. When the first trial came from Rashida Tlaib, I call them the 4 horse bitches of the apocalypse, right? But their first trial came along. They brought to light after it was all. You remember how you said news travels fast and people expand on it. Now the next story.
Oh, it's all instant now.
Yeah,
Everything.
they used to say a few years ago, several years ago, fake news travels so fast. They said, and before it
Travels at
can
the
be
speed of light.
and before it can be stopped or corrected, people are already. And then the next story is already coming down, and you're like, wait, yesterday that fire. There's a fire over here. Now.
Yeah, that's why they have to put shocked in their shocking details in their titles.
Yeah.
YouTube titles, because nobody's shocked anymore.
They're normalizing chaos all around us, and before long we'll be like,
You know what? You know what this
doing?
feels like? This whole fucking thing that we're in, with the fucking heat
What?
and everything else. Predator 2.
Oh,
Fucking
it was one of
Predators,
these years where the planet's
everything's too fucking hot. The gangs have overridden Los Angeles, and everybody's going fucking nuts. And our Predator goes, yeah. You know, it's like, I'm gonna fuck up some drug dealers. I'm gonna fuck up some cops.
Mm-hmm.
Gary
Like that.
Busey especially.
That
With
movie
his
sucked
buck
so
teeth.
bad, though, didn't it? Part 2 sucked so bad, didn't it?
I liked it.
I liked aspects of it, but it had so many flaws that when I was younger, I looked over them, and the movie didn't age as well as the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it because I liked that chick with the big boobs.
Oh yeah,
banging on the thing. It's like, and then she gets killed. It's
that
like,
shit was graphic back then to watch people fucking like that. Ooh, it was hot.
yeah, now you can't show boobs anymore. It's like, oh, she's being exploited. Ooh, and then it's like, I gotta get attention. And somebody TikToks some bullshit and it blows up and everybody's like, shocking news. It's like, it's not fucking shocking anymore, dude. Nothing's fucking shocking. I'm just fucking numb to all of it.
Me too, and that's the perfect
Oh
way to
yeah,
be.
you need some of this.
I'll take some, man.
I forgot, man. I've been bogarting the whole fucking thing. I forgot that you need some.
I appreciate it too. I don't say anything. I speak in code too, unlike everybody else. You know, every time I talk to you, get drunk, drinking. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm starting to figure it out. You know, and one of the biggest things that's helped my thinking lately is started playing strategy games.
for code talk.
No, just my gaming.
Uh-huh.
Like I used to do a lot of racing and a lot of open world games. You ever play any open world games? Oh yeah, you said you played.
I got a Dark Souls in 2 weeks or less. It's less than.
Dark Souls.
It was great, man. But my eyes are like, ugh, just strained. Everything.
Did you say Mad Max?
Mad Max. I didn't gut that in 2 weeks, but I completely dismantled that game, and then I went out to the fucking great nothing, where there's 90% of never developed maps waiting. Never happened. I think they didn't want to affect the Grand Theft Auto franchise because Mad Max would have taken a portion of the crowd away. Here. I kind of lost track.
Okay, now filter money into that thought.
Oh yeah, you see a Rockstar game logo on both games? We're going to bring our money to China and keep it there. Fuck the other one, you know?
Yeah, I think they just didn't have the budget for it.
Oh, the game's fantastic. Have you ever played it? Fucking fantastic. Even if they only had like so many things you could go and buy, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's an open world game. So I'm sure you know at that point that you over level, complete all the side quests, over level, and then go to the boss fight. It's like
there was actually 2 endings, and you had to choose right at the pinnacle, the crescendo of the entire game. The bad guy, you choose to murder him or spare him.
Yeah, so I
killed his ass.
I did a lot of racing. Did a lot of racing, so it was like go fast. A lot of open world, over level, bash the fucking shit out of whatever the fuck is in your way. Boss fight, you know, bash the fuck out of them, and then you're done. You know, and it's like, yeah, that's how I approached my new assignment. I just like over leveled everybody. Walk into a battle. Yes, you need to test this event. It's like, okay. You know, I walk in with my over level characters, you know. I've got like 126,000 health, for example, and then the enemy team has like 12,000. And I deal like 5,000 damage per tile match, so I go swipe.
And you're bored with the game because...
And then swipe, and then I end the turn. You know, I end the game in like 3 turns, and it's like, and then I get bitched out for it. It's like, you should be spending 4 hours on this. It's like, you know, and then I started fucking up in my job and shit too, because I was still racing and doing open world games.
While you're supposed to be on the clock or something? Or?
No, not when I was on the clock. It's just when I played after the clock.
Oh, I see. Because you'd expedite your daily test on the game when you just fucking mow off the thing and be like, next.
Yep, because that's how I gamed. You know, that's the gaming style I took into that game. It's like,
your less common approach to beating video games is not good for the money makers, my friend.
Yeah. So. You know, it's like, fuck it. I'm going to start playing Slay the Spire, which is a card game.
That thing was Oh, and earlier when I was saying people dropped the ball 3 times, I wasn't talking about you, but I couldn't tell you that.
Oh, I knew you weren't talking about me.
I'm talking about just some unfortunate events, and I